finally, we're going to get into this review of Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Now, let's start off with initial. Let's rate it real quick before we do this deep dive. Like, what would for your initial rating? What would you rate this movie?
It's like a weak 7. It was all right. Like 6, 7. Spider-Man was better.
I mean, we can't be comparing this to Spider-Man. I mean, come on now. We can't be comparing this thing to Spider-Man. Two different characters, 2 different movies, 2 different situations. Like,
Same
how would you
Doctor
feel?
Strange.
How you think Spider-Man would have won against Scarlet Witch?
Probably fine. Probably would have been pretty good. You know, I feel like
There's no
Spider. Well, you saying his Spidey sense couldn't like detect Wanda's crazy ass shit coming? You guess what you're telling me? He's saying he's saying Peter Tingle wouldn't detect anything. I don't know, man. I say Spider-Man would have held his own. Would have been a better sidekick than
than Wong.
Not Wong. What's the girl name? America.
America, yeah.
That was the funniest. Bro, when can I start roasting this movie? Because that right there is the funniest thing in the world that Marvel did. You made a Native American woman, called her America, and then you have her cross borders. Hilarious, bro. That was ridiculous.
I thought she was Latina.
Latina?
Yeah.
Oh, I was trying to make it less racist.
There's no way you could get around that. I'm sorry. There's no way you could get around that.
I assumed she was Native American. She's Latina, and you made it cross borders. I assumed she was. Wow. Good job, Marvel.
I would give this movie. Yeah, I would give it a 6. Not even 6. I think like 7, 7.5. Because I mean.
I was about to say, don't give it anything lower because the way you came in last week.
First of all,
right.
First of all,
this could be the same
my
movie.
the reason I came in, like the initial watch, like yes, I was satisfied with the movie, but when you sit down and you literally sit and digest it, you kind of then you nitpick the whole thing. Like, come on.
It's not.
But with the initial watch, like I was satisfied with the movie.
With the initial watch, I was confused at parts. Wanda's part made no sense in like certain areas where like the dream walking.
Yeah,
like
that was just because like that was basically dark magic.
No, for sure, I understand that. But what happened to Wanda after like let's assume right, Wanda's like the other Wanda,
the Wanda that she took, whose body she took over.
She ended up getting they knock her out of that, right? So she snapped out of it. Essentially, she just chipped up like half of the city herself, right? Like you was just playing with your kids. Now you just now you killed the whole Illuminati. They didn't explain any of that part. And then that part too. I was hurt.
I'm not gonna lie. Remember I said there was the one part that made me mad. That was the part. I mean,
all of them died.
Not just all of them dying. Professor X getting his neck snapped.
I seen that coming.
Come on, man.
Yeah, that
like
makes sense.
you brought back the original Professor X for this movie just for him to get his neck snapped.
Yeah, you're going up against WandaVision though. You're going against the Scarlet Witch. That's you would expect that.
He's just dude.
Yeah,
the man's a sidekick.
Old.
That man, dude. He's one of the most powerful sidekicks out there, besides the Phoenix.
Nah,
like he.
Right.
Dude, come on.
Pushed,
I mean, they brought back the classic wheelchair, though. That's what I like.
Even at then, he was pushing like 60, 70, bro. I'm not saying he wasn't a good. By the time Logan came out, he was having like dementia.
I mean, that was because of the whole like that's the timeline. That's the like X-Men timeline, and they made him old. So, but this is a whole new, different universe. We don't know how vibrant this guy is.
Well, even still, I feel like Reed Richards, like.
Oh, the Reed Richards that they cast for him?
Yeah, the
I actually like this one. I like that Reed Richards.
Yeah, for his 3 seconds of fame, and then he just turned into nothing.
He turned into noodles,
and then
he turned into ramen.
I will say that fight Wanda did have with them was raw as hell. With
It was definitely
tuning fork, dude.
that was definitely nah, dude.
Yeah,
This
man,
this
the
guy,
tuning fork, dude.
this guy,
all
this
three
guy
of us
has the
like,
power to like disintegrate
damn.
somebody with a whisper. That's why he's like, oh, he ain't gonna talk to you,
I'm sorry, and he blew away,
and then blew his freaking head off. Like like,
What is it,
yo, Wanda is savage, bro.
He killed their Doctor Strange, right? He killed their Doctor Strange with a
whisper, just saying,
sorry,
I'm sorry,
and blew him away, and was like,
and then gets his head blown off just because.
and Wanda matrix your man's mouth, nailed his mouth closed, and then blew his head off, bro.
No.
And he went limp the whole.
His own book.
What?
And he's like,
That was the one thing I wouldn't have done. If your whole thing makes noise, I wouldn't have be like and scream in my mouth. That'd be the wrong thing to do at that moment.
It's like, bro. Nah, I like the fact that they made that in that universe they made Captain Marvel a black woman.
And she still
I was
died.
happy about that.
And she still died.
She
Again,
was kicking ass though. And then but I'm like, then you crushed her.
she died the most weakest way ever. How is a statue you could fly into space and gone through if it was the same universe? You went through Thanos' ship. And a museum piece breaks you. Like, really?
I don't know. That's the one thing about it. I'm like, with the way they made Captain Marvel seem like she's one of the more powerful Avengers. It's just like, how you die that quick? How you die like that?
A lot of them just they made it like, I understand Wanda being OP powerful, fair.
I do, and I did like the fact that they brought back Captain Carter.
Yeah, again,
They actually made a live action Captain Carter. I was like, that's cool as hell.
yeah, and they mimicked her perfectly from
Yeah.
the What If. That's the only thing I will
From
say
What If,
that this series, this movie did. It was like it did make or continued the What If episodes.
Yeah.
Which I like.
which is basically just all in the multiverse. So
But
yeah,
it made no sense. That whole how
it
did
was-
Wanda catch up to all three of them when they were running in the tunnel? She's doing the Blair Witch hobble or whatever, the cut glass, the ring hobble. Got glass all over the feet. Her leg busted, and Wanda literally was right behind them the entire time. And
they weren't hitting it though. They weren't like running.
What?
Like,
What are
come
you
on.
talking about? They was in full sprint half the time through the corridors, smacking buttons to get the door to close, and Wanda's right there, just
They really.
and then come to find out she didn't even need a door.